Yo, fam, it's me, Sasha Denbright, and welcome to episode 21 of the 2024 season of You Call Targeting. My gosh, it's been a minute since we've been in the studio. I'm here with Mike Rochburns and Earl Maynard, and we're going to talk about the quarterfinals of the college football playoff. We're going to recap that absolute garbage. Let me adjust my mic here. My goodness, it's been so long since I've been down here. Oh, my crap's not right. My gosh, stupid mic stand. Dadgummit. Alright, I think I'm good now. I'm sorry about all that excess noise. Anyways, we gotta talk about the playoffs. I mean, we really didn't get to talk too much about the first round. Absolute just nipples of a playoff. Every game was a blowout, nothing but pure garbage. It makes me want to just go back to the 14 playoff or to the original just BCS where we picked the top two teams. Because this was nothing but pure nipples. But the second round was a little bit better, and let's talk about that. Penn State absolutely blew the Boise State's tits back. My goodness, 31-14, they shut down Ashton Jeanty. Made him look just like a crap running back from the Mountain West. I mean, my good. And I'm sorry if you hear my voice shaking. I'm shivering a little bit. It is flipping cold in this studio. I turned the heater on about an hour ago, expecting it to be warm when I got down here. Psh, it's so cold the heater ain't even touching it. Nothing but pure garbage. My gosh. Anyways, Boise State, speaking of pure garbage, Boise State gets, blown out 31-14. Nothing but pure garbage. Next game, my precious Notre Dame absolutely destroyed Georgia, 23-10. Georgia looked like absolute crap. And I loved every second of it. Everybody that's doubted Notre Dame, my goodness, maybe that'll help you believe that we are national championship material. Everybody wants to talk about the SEC. The SEC's nothing but pure garbage this year. Tennessee got blown out by Ohio State in the first round. Nothing but pure garbage. You got Alabama, who's garbage. Georgia's garbage. Texas struggled. I mean, they had to get a 4th and 12 or something like that to beat Arizona State. That should have been a blowout game. That was another game in this round. 39-31 in double overtime. My goodness, what pure garbage showing by Texas. They jumped out, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a beatdown. And then they let Arizona State back in the game. They're nothing but pure garbage. And then, let's recap the last game. Ohio State and Oregon. This should have been the game, right? This should have been an awesome game. And I did say Ohio State would probably win the rematch, and the way they played against Tennessee, I like how they're playing. But 41-21, my gosh, Oregon's nothing but trash. This is a team that you beat earlier in the year, and you can't do any better than that. And they were getting beat like, I don't know, 34 to nothing or something like that at one point. Just a pure beatdown. Ohio State's playing dang good football. And they're going to be hard to stop. But, yeah, I'm excited. We're down at the Final Four. Of course I'm excited because my precious Notre Dame is part of that Final Four. And we'll get on to making our picks here in a minute. But, hey, Mike, why don't you talk about, what you thought about this latest round of the college football playoff?
I guess the real shocker was that Texas and Arizona State was a close game. I was with you. Thought this would be a blowout game. The way that game started, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. But my goodness, Cam Scatterby, great running back for Arizona State. I thought it was going to be kind of like what we saw with Penn State and Ashton Jeanty and them slowing him down. I thought that's what Texas was going to do to Cam Scatterby, but he just turned it on and really... It was kind of like a one-man show. He even, he threw a touchdown. He had a ton of receiving yards, rushing yards. This guy, his NFL draft stock went way up. It wouldn't shock me now if he's a first-round pick or something like that. The dude's an absolute beast. I guess the biggest shock was the fact that Oregon just didn't show up at all against Ohio State. And you're right, Ohio State is probably the best team in the playoff right now. and I think it's going to be tough for anybody to beat them. But yeah, it was a better. The second round was better than the first, but still wasn't really great football. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of shocking that the one game that was close is the game that should have been a blowout. So that's what I take from this round. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
All right, Earl, what was your thoughts?
I mean, I'm just gonna repeat what y'all said pretty much. I mean, yeah, I wasn't real impressed with the way Texas played. I don't know if it was just Arizona State was that good or if Texas just sucks. And yeah, I'm disappointed that Oregon's eliminated. I hated that they had to match up with Ohio State in the second round. That's just it's really not fair. And I'm a little sad that Boise State and Ashton Jeanty didn't play better against Penn State because I just don't think Penn State's that great. And they just keep winning. So I don't know, man. I mean, it was all right, but I hope this next round gives us a lot better football.
Yeah, I hope so too, Earl. But yeah, that's kind of what we thought about this round of the playoffs. Now, we got a few questions to answer, so let's get to that. All right, let me get my notes out. Maybe I should have been doing that. Okay, first question is from Smelly Eugene. It says, if you grew a new nipple every time these 12-team playoffs suck pure nads, how many nipples would you have? That's a great question, Smelly Eugene, and I would have a ton of nipples right now if I was growing a new nipple. First of all, I would start out with my 2 because I do have 2 nipples, like most of the the world. I'm sure there's some weirdos with 3 nipples or 1, but I do have just the normal pair of I got 2 nipples. I don't know why I wanted to elaborate on that, but anyways, so yeah, if I grew a new nipple every time I was disappointed, well, I would have grew 4 in the first round because I was disappointed. Notre Dame won, so I guess I wasn't disappointed. It wasn't much of a game to watch, but I was happy. So that's 3 extra nipples. And in this round, I was disappointed with 2 games. So, let's see, what is that? That's 5 extra. I think I would have 7 nipples if I grew an extra nipple every time I was disappointed. So hopefully that answers your question. And I would love to see someone, like draw an image of me with 7 nipples. It would be pretty awesome. So if you do that, make sure you send it in, and I'd like to see it. Next question is from Socks for Gloves. It says, this question is for the host of the year only. Garbage. I still can't believe Mike won host of the year. Nothing but pure garbage. But I guess this question's for you, Mike. It says, what national championship matchup would be the most competitive?
That's a good question. I think if I wanted the most competitive national championship, I would pick Texas to beat Ohio State, and I would pick Notre Dame to beat Penn State, because I think if Ohio State wins, I think they beat whoever they play, whether it's Penn State or Notre Dame. I know you don't like to hear that, but they're just playing really good football right now. So I think if we want a competitive national championship, I think we need Ohio State out of it, to tell you the truth. I think if Texas makes it, I think whether they play Penn State or Notre Dame, that's a good competitive game and a close game and maybe a nail-biter. But yeah, if I could hand pick, I would pick Texas versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, but nobody cares. That's the good part. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. The next question is from Popcorn Balls Are My Favorite Balls. It says, how does French toast stack up to waffles and pancakes? Great question. I've been having some French toast here lately, and I love it. I get up, and, I crack 1 egg in a bowl, and I pour a little almond milk in there because I've been trying to be healthy. Whole wheat bread, by the way, is what I use. And, and then I pour some cinnamon in there and give that a good stirring up. And then I pour my mixture onto a plate of some sort, which I've been using paper plates because I don't want to do dishes. And then soak the bread in there, throw it on the griddle. 1 egg made me 3 pieces of bread or toast. Oh, I puked a little in my mouth. Anyways, but yeah, French toast is awesome. And I would probably, I'd probably rank it second out of those. I'm probably going waffle number 1. Definitely if it's like like Waffle House or something like one of those big Belgian waffles. Goodness, they're good. And then I'd put French toast probably in between because French toast, everywhere I've had French toast is good. Whether you make it at home, you order it at a restaurant, French toast is always solid. I tell you what's not always solid, and that's pancakes. Sometimes you make them at home, not very good. Like the box pancakes, sometimes suck pure nipples. And then you go to Cracker Barrel. Everybody wants to talk about how good their breakfast is. Their pancakes suck. My gosh, they're terrible. They taste like if you take a piece of bread and throw it on a griddle and you have like Texas toast. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like Texas toast with syrup. Just garbage. And then they give you that maple syrup, that real stuff, that's super thin and watery, and it's warm. Garbage. I want the thick, fake syrup that's room temperature. I don't want no warm syrup on my pancakes, and the pancakes should be warm. So the syrup don't have to be warm. I don't get it. Nothing but pure garbage. Cracker Barrel pancakes suck pure nipples. And I'll die on that hill. My gosh, nothing but pure trash. Anyways, I don't even know why we're talking about Cracker Barrel, because they suck, and the one here in town pretty much sucks and got terrible service. My gosh, I hate Cracker Barrel. But yeah, French toast is going to be slamming in the middle of those. By the way, if we're talking good pancakes, McDonald's hotcakes are phenomenal, and IHOP has some good pancakes. Get you a stack of pancakes. My gosh, it's good. Anyways, I'm getting hungry talking about pancakes. So let's move on to the last question here. It is from Wet Brown Poop Stain. It says, I figured out why Notre Lame instead of Notre Dame. How garbage is that? Anyways, he said, I figured out why Notre Lame has gotten as far as they have. It is because, I can't read. Hold on, let me just start this whole garbage thing over. It says, I figured out why Notre Dame has gotten as far as they have. Is it because they're good? Heck no. It's because they're so terrible, none of their players get offered NIL deals because they're trash. So they actually have to play hard, unlike these other spoiled brats. Gosh! I'm sick of the SEC. I'm sick of Jalen Milroe. I'm sick of Kalen DeBoerfest. I'm sick of Mike and his stupid face. Sasha for president, but Notre Dame falls in the next game. Bet. I feel like I read that one good. Third time's a charm. There's a lot to uncover with this question. First of all, to say that Notre Dame none of their players are getting offered NIL deals and they're not transferring because they're not good enough. Nothing but pure trash. We got 2 of the best running backs in college football. Riley Leonard, one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And I know his stats wasn't really great against Georgia, but my goodness, the guy puts his body on the line. If he needs a yard, he's going up and getting it. My goodness, the kid's got heart. I'm telling you. And our coach, Marcus Freeman, even though I pretty much hated him last year because, we were pretty much garbage. But, man, he's really done a great job. And I really like him this year. That could change next year if we suck. But, my gosh. And, yeah, I understand hating the SEC because the SEC's done nothing lately. They're nothing but pure garbage. Alabama with 4 losses this year. And Jalen Milroe does suck pure nipples. I try to defend the guy throughout the season, but he's just nothing but pure garbage. Losing to Michigan in the bowl game is just embarrassing. And I know bowl games, they say, oh, well, it don't really matter. It does matter when you're crap, and that's all you got to play for. And, it ain't like Alabama sat all their starters. They went out there and actually tried to win and couldn't do it. Nothing but pure garbage. You got South Carolina lost to Illinois in their bowl game. The only ones that's looked good in their bowl games is like Florida and Ole Miss. is like the only SEC teams that's looked good. Well, I mean, Texas is still in the running. But my gosh, the SEC pretty much just sucks. And they were talking about how good they were. And I mean, my precious Notre Dame went in there and just whipped Georgia's teeth like it was nothing. My gosh. I mean, SEC's a joke. But hey, they're good at basketball. There's a ton of basketball SEC teams in the top 25. And I just got done watching Florida just whip the absolute tits off of Tennessee. Number 1 Tennessee, by the way. And Florida beat them by like 30 points. So Florida's pretty good this year. Maybe we'll talk some March Madness when it gets a little closer, because we're nearing the end of these college football podcasts. But anyways, it's time to make our picks for the Final Four. And we're going to start with Notre Dame and Penn State. Everybody knows who I'm picking. Notre Dame wins this by 17 points. Penn State sucks pure nipples. Notre Dame will play for the national championship. What about you, Mike?
Every time I doubt Penn State, they make a fool of me. I'm sorry, Sasha, but Penn State is going to beat Notre Dame.
My gosh, nothing but pure trash. And you're supposed to be the host of the year with picks like that. Nothing but pure garbage. Earl, who do you got?
So, Sasha, you're going to like this because I'm picking Notre Dame. I'm telling you, they're good this year. They're just good. And, I mean, everybody has doubted them. And when they lost to Northern Illinois, we were all making fun of how garbage Notre Dame was. And everybody talks about how, they play weak schedules and all this stuff. But guess what? They are going to be playing for the national championship. So all the haters can just keep on hating. Notre Dame is going to handle Penn State. I think Penn State will just lay an absolute turd in this game. And I think Notre Dame wins this one pretty easy.
That is how you pick a game, Mike. My gosh. You're nothing but trash, Mike. My goodness. Thank you, Earl, for picking Notre Dame. Next game and the last game, right, it is Ohio State versus Texas. And I would be an absolute moron to pick Texas the way Ohio State is playing football right now. I'm going Ohio State, and I'm going with Ohio State by 2 touchdowns.
I'm agreeing with you, Sasha. Ohio State is playing incredible football right now. I do not think they even struggled to win this game. I think they handled Texas, and they will be playing for a national championship.
I would rather smother myself in kerosene and light myself on fire and die a slow, painful, fiery death than for Ohio State to win or to go to a national championship. That would just make me sick. I don't know what it is about that program. I just hate them. I think their fans suck. Ryan Day looks like, one of those guys that, they had some kind of flesh-eating disease and they ate half their face off, and then they have to recreate a face out of silicone to make them try to look normal. That's how he looks, and he's just ugly, and man, just Ohio State's stupid. They're just dumb, and I hate the fans. And if you're listening to this show and you're a Ohio State fan, you suck, and I hate you. I don't know why. I just do. They're the last team I want to see win this whole thing. So I hope Texas beats them just to take them out. If Ohio State wins the whole thing and wins the national championship, I'm going to struggle with wanting to keep on living, to be honest. I'd probably just crank my car in the garage with the door closed or something. Come on, Texas, please don't let Ohio State win.
My gosh, Earl, tell us how you really feel. Goodness. Anyways, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll recap the Final Four, and then the next episode will be the national championship. So can't wait to see who plays for the national championship. It better be my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm telling you, I'm a little nervous, but I think we can do it. But hey, we'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.